Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Piscean people. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friend. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to us. What do we got for Pisces in mid-February? We're getting very close to Pisces season, only a couple of weeks away. But what energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you're going into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces gang. What do you got for us, my guides? What is going on for my Piscean people? All right, cool. A little bit of a 10 of Wands type of energy, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but we will definitely talk about this further. Now, this isn't a tarot deck, it's an oracle, so it does have similar themes, but it's not exactly the same as the 10 of Wands. And if you look at the imagery there, I guess you could pick up what I'm putting down with that person with another person literally on their back. It's a little cumbersome, it's a little burdened. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see there's this dude here, he's in the middle of the card, and there's another person right on his back, like we already mentioned. Now, in the tarot deck, the 10 of Wands is somebody carrying a lot of weight. That's exactly what this person is doing too. They have literally another person on their back. So whether the things you're doing or the things you're dealing with right now, you might have a lot of responsibility. You might have a lot of people that rely on you when this is here. I'd say that's a good thing, but at the same time, it could be a burden. So whether it's a mental burden, an emotional burden, a physical burden, you want to make sure you don't burn yourself out when this card is here. So for some Pisces, you might need some recuperation, rest, relaxation, or even healing when this card is here. Now, again, it doesn't have to be you. This could be someone you're connected to where they might be going through a bit of a tough time. That would be up to you how you would want to deal with that situation. But to me, it feels pretty heavy. Now, the great thing about it is there's a lot of determination where it's like, okay, if something pops up, a problem or a situation, it doesn't matter. I will get through it. I'm determined to get through something, which is nice. So we'll put that down right there. And I always say when it comes to the physical body, watch out for areas like the neck, the back, the spine when that's there. So we're just going to leave it for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time. For my Pisces people, what's happening? And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a bit of a doozy, my friends. The reading was titled A Big Mistake. And what I saw in the ether was a potential to either do something you were going to regret, or being a little more spontaneous than you normally are, or potentially somebody you're connected to feeling like they messed up in some sort of way. So I'm hoping you dodge that and walk through that minefield. Just know that that energy could linger for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my Pisces people. What is happening in mid-February? Please see. Hopefully we have a nice little vibe switch. What do we got for Pisces, please? Thank you. Okay. So, interesting. So, you got 2 cards together. It's going to be very important to try to not force something, my friends. We do have the 8 of Pentacles in position number 1, which is cool. But in the center, we have the 9 of Wands. That is a very cautious type of energy, or needing to be cautious, possibly. We're going to have to talk about it because, like, we have energy coming out, but there's, like, this blockage here. Let's get one more before we really start talking about it. And very important to not force. Okay, you're going to have a bonus this week too. On the back end, we do have Judgment, which is nice. Depending, right? It all depends, like, because this energy to me does feel like it could be very up and down. But we also have the Three of Cups, which is a bonus. So that is making me cautiously optimistic about the spread we're seeing here. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, nice little mixture of elements that are happening here. We have some earth that's very complementary to the Pisceans like us. We have some fire, which is generally the realm of action and movement. We have judgment, which is Plutonian, change-based, very explosive. And we have water. So it's like we have a nice little mixture of many things, which I feel like is okay. But we're just going to have to see how they all play off of each other, because it's like we have effort, we have action, we have energy moving, big old blockage here in the center. But then this energy kind of breaks through on the back end. So I guess it really depends on what you're dealing with. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, we are starting with the Eight of Pentacles. Now, for a lot of Pisces, this could just represent career and work, what you do for a living, how you earn a living. This is a card that I really closely connect to career. I feel like it's nice. Generally, it's putting effort into something. When it comes to money, this is usually good. It's like earning something, earning your rewards. So it's a card of effort and trying to make something happen. So I like it, especially in the first position. But there are some challenges with this, as with all cards. Sometimes it could be someone that's trying a little too hard, doing a little too much, working on something that, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you work on it, you're not going to get a result. That could be a downside of this card. We'll see when we clarify it. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is. Sometimes it could be someone that is workaholic mode, right? Where they're just work, 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 all work, no play. Interesting that we had this 10 of Wands that was saying, hey, don't burn yourself out. So when I get this in the beginning, the Eight of Pentacles, then the Nine of Wands that we have coming up next to it, that is Spirit saying, like, listen, do not burn yourself out. Do not force anything. I feel like that's super important already. And I don't want to get too intuitive just yet, but I just feel like that's super important in this time, not to force things. Okay, now moving to the center, we have the Nine of Wands. There are some positives to this card. It's not a all bad thing, but we see this person, the wounded warrior is what we call it. And you see him there, he's got a bandage on the head, he's built a wall, and he's just being very, very skeptical. Now, for some Pisces, you might just be a little on guard, right? You might be a little on edge, you might be a little nervous. This is someone that's like watching out for things. In the positive sense, this is just a very protective energy, where it's like, you know what? I'll watch out for myself, watch out for the things I care about, and I will protect those things as much as I have to. Similar to what we have here with the 10 of Wands-ish type feeling, the 9 of Wands is like, I need some time to recover. So it's kind of blocking things out. So whenever we see it, it's an energetic blockage. Now, in its roughest sense, it could be lack of communication. It could be someone that's kind of withdrawn in hermit mode. And in its harshest sense, it could be a rejection of some sort. So I'm not saying that's a person. I'm not saying you're out here breaking a million hearts, rejecting a whole bunch of people. This could be rejecting a habit. This could be rejecting a behavior. It could be rejecting a thought process. So like when I see the energy moving towards it and a wall being built, to me, that's either a problem of some sort or something being rejected. But we do have a little bit of a difference of energy towards the back end, because as we move further, let me get that. I knocked that off of its bearings. On the back end, we do have Judgment, which kind of breaks through all this gunk in the center, because Judgment is one of the most explosive cards in the whole entire deck. You see Archangel Gabriel, the messenger. Sometimes this can be about making literal judgment calls, decisions, choices. Do I go left? Do I go right? Sometimes it could just be taking action. And similar to what we have here with the Eight of Pentacles in the front, we're like, no, I'm going to keep going. Doesn't matter if there's a problem. Doesn't matter if there's a situation. I will keep pushing. Similar to this determined energy we had here in the very front. So I do like this. It's Plutonian in the sense that it's about metamorphosis and change. It's also a karmic card, but it's fiery, it's explosive, it's almost an unstoppable type of energy. So in the positive sense, I'm like, yeah, don't force anything, but there is a potential to have a breakthrough of some sort, which would be a good thing. So if you're dealing with a situation you've been dealing with for a while, or you're feeling a little stuck in the muck, or that things have slowed down, this could be an energy of a breakthrough, which could be good. But at the same time, I feel like I have to give that message, like, listen, just go with the flow. I know I don't have to tell my fellow Pisceans that, just don't force anything. Whether it's business, work, personal relationships, in this time, we should be going with the flow. Now, on the back end, we have a very celebratory card. You'll be happy you did. We have the Three of Cups. These people are happy. They're having a good time. Now, this could be representing people around us, and we did have this isolated energy here in the center. So for some of us, we might need a little more alone time than we usually do. But I feel like this is nice. It's social, and it's celebrating something. So it's a nice little hint of energy that tells me, like, okay, we got some difficulties here, but everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. So, and you might be able to draw on your circle of people to help you out. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Pisces. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What do we got for Pisces, please? Guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message. It means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, so you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. What's this effort? What is this effort? King of Cups. All right, this could be someone where like their heart's in the right place. I mean, the place where they're coming from, it's like, no, but I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. That is one of our power cards, my friends. Now, the King of Cups, and remember, it's not gender specific. That could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, any of them, but I do say it's one of our power cards. And it represents emotional balance. It can represent deep emotions, love, and care. So for some Pisces out there, there could be someone that's either wanting to or trying to fix something. That's like a vibe I was picking up last week with all the mishaps. There could be someone who's like, I can make this better. I can fix this. I can streamline this and make it work. So just know in this time, a lot of us might be like heavily focused on improving things. Okay, so whether it is business related or personal relationships, it's like, I can make this better or I can make this work. That's a good thing. But I also feel for a lot of Pisces, there is going to be something that you are going to want to give your energy to, and you might have to hold off for the time being, where it's like, no, but I want to do it. I want to do it right now. I want to do it right this second. Why should I slow down? So we're going to see how it all plays out. The King of Cups in the upright, especially in a Pisces reading, is a good thing. So it's like, all right, the intentions are good. Where you're coming from is good. You're not doing anything wrong. That's what this is telling me. But at the same time, it's like, you just don't force anything in this time. Like there could be something it's really got you wanting to give a lot to it, and Spirit could be saying, just chill out for a minute. Let's keep moving forward. Let's see what's up, because now we might see like two different outcomes, two different paths. It all really depends. But let's see what that Nine of Wands has to say, because that's the thing that's been catching my interest initially, because I feel like that's the problematic area. But why's the Nine of Wands here? I want to see Judgment too. That's where the energy shifts. World in reverse. So very important not to repeat the mistakes of the past here, okay? And I'm not saying any of you are going to, but when I see the world in reverse, this could be a couple things. One, that solitude, that withdrawn energy, it's showing up here strong, because it's like, I have energy coming towards it. I have energy coming towards it this way. I have things popping back up, things returning, things cycling back. This could be a rejection. It can be, right? So again, whether it's with interpersonal connections, whether it's with behaviors, habits, things from the past, even work situations. It's like, I'm building a wall, I'm building a castle, I'll be in here, leave me alone. It's like giving me that type of vibe. So for a lot of Pisces, you might be in hermit mode, or you might put yourself there, but at the same time, it's like, nope, not yet. So there is this energy of something being rejected. There is. That's just how it feels to me. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It doesn't feel like it's permanent. It just feels like not yet, for whatever reason. Now, the world is usually a card of endings, right? It's the card of the world itself too. That's one of my interpretations. It represents the world events, the world around us. When I see it in reverse, it's energy that's either popping back up or returning, or something that refuses to end in one way or another. So I'm just getting a whole bunch of stuff off of this. But a big thing I'm feeling here is a lot of insulation. Okay, so for a lot of Pisces, you might want to find yourself like a little cubby hole or a nook to hide in for a little bit. If that's not the case, it is just someone saying like, just not right now. Yes, but not right now. Let's keep moving over to the Judgment card. See what that has to say, because now there's a lot of karmic archetypes showing up here with the world and Judgment. So we'll see what's up with that. But That is the little problematic area in the center. So why is judgment here for Pisces? Guides, what's going on? Thank you. Okay, yeah, so there is a good result in the end. So that's what this tells me. The Ten of Pentacles is a beautiful card. It's a beautiful energy. So whether it's something that pays off for you or it's a win in the end, it's like, okay, yeah, no, this is like a little blip on the radar. It's a bump in the road, which is really good. Now, am I saying that you should force something? Absolutely not, because I do feel for some of you, this is like a crossroads where it's like, yeah, you're coming from a good place, but if you force it, it's just going to keep getting bounced back your way. If you go with the flow and release control, that's when you're going to get what you want. So it's very peculiar how this energy is coming through. There is something here about just releasing control and just saying, whatever will be, will be. It is what it is. And if you get into that headspace, that's going to lead to the best possible outcome. But yeah, when I see judgment, the card of change and transformation into the Ten of Pentacles, this is a massive win or an explosive win, right? With this energy we have on the top, where it's like, yeah, this energy is like bouncing things away and it's problematic, but it opens up. And once this energy opens up, it's on. It's like giving me that type of vibe. So it's like something that turns on the fire hose in a good way. So I feel like that's a good ending to this. It's just that we have this gunked up energy in the center that I'm like, huh, all right, this is weird for several different reasons. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Lots of different things showing up this week, Pisces. But in position number one, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the King of Cups, one of our power cards right there. And that does tell me, like, you're not doing anything wrong. Your heart is in the right place. Your emotions are in the right place. So that's a good thing. There could be something that you were really urged to chase it down, push for it, fight for it. That's the vibe this is giving me, where it's like, no, I got to fix this or I got to make this work. Like, it doesn't make sense to give up on it. But moving to the center, we have the Nine of Wands with the World in reverse. So whether this is a warning about repeating mistakes from the past, or this is someone just insulating themselves, it's like they're putting themselves in a bubble, they're putting themselves in a castle, where it's like, all right, well, no matter how much you work, no matter how much energy you throw at it, like, you can't force this hermit crab out of the shell. We also have the World in reverse underneath it. So for some of you, maybe you do need a little bit more solitude than you normally do, but there's just this odd energy where it's like, it's pushing things, it's rejecting various things. So again, whether it's behaviors, people, you name it, it's like I'm building my walls here. Moving to the back end, we have judgment with the Ten of Pentacles. So again, once you release control or say whatever will be, it is what it is. That's where it's like, boom, everything just snaps and the energy goes from full stop to full go. So even though this is problematic in the center and it's pushing things away, it will not always be like that, because once it's on, it's on. That's how it feels. So massive explosive win on the back. So please take a screenshot if you'd like. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. And yes, if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out. What is in the shadows for my Piscean people? Please. Thank you. Okay. Judgment again. So in this deck, the judgment card is called discernment. Okay. And remember, discernment, it's about using your gut intuition, your instincts, making a judgment call, being at a crossroads, similar to like what we saw here, where it's like, that's one possibility, that's another. Now, discernment, we already talked about judgment, the good things about it, where it's like, hopefully you're not feeling indecisive on how you should handle something. But a big thing with this is it's control, or it's things that are changing out of our hands. So that whole message I was given about release and control. Now, I personally believe in life there are things we can control. We can control our actions, we can control our reactions, but there's always going to be things that pop up, things that happen, things that are out of our hands. Like, we can't control how someone else acts, we can't control how someone else feels. So when I see judgment, it's telling us to be adaptive, which Pisceans are very good at, or just release control in regards to something. And when you do, that's when you're going to get the very positive outcome. That makes sense. So we're going to put it down right here. I mean, hold on to your seats when this energy starts kicking in, though. That's one thing I will say, because once it's on, it's on. But yeah, Pisces, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The February subscriber surprise If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.